you survive an attack. Let's see. And we have boss orders in our hand. Use cloth, knock it out. So 220 damage. This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code KNIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Before going to the video, please take a second to click that like button. And we're on the road to reaching 10,000 subscribers, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I hope you enjoy the contents I put out in this channel. Hey guys, in today's video, we are going to showcase Walking Wake EX from the Temporal Forces expansion set. What makes this ancient Pokemon really great is its ability Azure Seas. Damage from attacks used by this Pokemon is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, really making its attack unblockable. So if you're going against Mimikyu with the Safeguard ability, your opponent wants to stall because it can prevent damage from EX or V Pokemon, you just ignore that and you can knock out that Mimikyu by attacking with this Walking Wake EX. It only has one attack for 1 water and 2 colorless energy. Catharsis Roar deals 120 plus damage. It is very underwhelming, however, if your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition like poison or burn or anything like that, this attack can deal 240 damage instead. So think about it, 240 unblockable damage is insane. So how do we put that special condition on your opponent's active Pokemon? There are a few ways to do this, but we will be using Brute Bonnet, also an ancient Pokemon, more for its ability Toxic Powder. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached, you may make both active Pokemon poisoned. And all you have to do to use that ability is attach the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule onto Brute Bonnet. You can poison both active Pokemon, and this actually can prevent poison if you attach this to your Walking Wake EX as well. And it also adds 60 HP to the ancient Pokemon this card is attached to. Now, powering up Walking Wake EX's attack is a little bit awkward, but we can actually use Professor Sada's Vitality. You choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. And if you attach any energy this way, you also draw 3 cards. So this card is really great for energy acceleration as well as a draw engine. All you have to do is really discard the basic water energies so that you can use Professor Sada's Vitality. You can use the Earthen Vessel to search your deck for more water energy, but you can also use this to discard your water energy because you have to discard a card from your hand to use this, and then you can search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and put them into your hand. So now once you've discarded those water energy, use Professor Sada's Vitality to attach the energies onto Walking Wake EX, and then you can just attach Double Turbo Energy, and that will satisfy the 2 colorless energy to its attack cost. However, this will reduce your attack by 20 damage. And with the Double Turbo Energy attached, Catharsis Roar will actually deal 220 damage instead. But despite that decrease of damage, you're actually poisoning your opponent's active Pokemon as well. So to increase our poison damage even further, we're also using Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, more for its ability Poison Peak. During Pokemon Checkup, put 2 more damage counters on your opponent's poisoned Pokemon. So that's 3 poison damage between Pokemon Checkup. But not only that, we're also using the new Stadium Perilous Jungle. During Pokemon Checkup, put 2 more damage counters on each poisoned non-dark type Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So now we're looking at 5 poison damage in between turns or during Pokemon Checkup. So even with the reduced damage of the Double Turbo Energy on Walking Wake EX, 220 plus 5 poison damage, that's 270 damage after attacking. And if your opponent cannot remove their active Pokemon and remove that poison, you might just be able to knock out their Pokemon in between your opponent's turn and yours. Also, don't be afraid to use Professor Sada's Vitality to accelerate extra energy to your Brute Bonnet, because you can also use Energy Switch to switch that water energy from Brute Bonnet onto Walking Wake EX, and then all you have to do is attach that Double Turbo Energy to power up its attack. And of course, you can also use the Town Store Stadium so that you can search your deck for a Pokemon tool card that is the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule so that you can attach it to your Brute Bonnet. One downside to Walking Wake EX is its weakness to lightning, because the Miraidon deck and Iron Hands EX and things like that is very popular in the format right now, so they are hitting for weakness. So to counter that, we're actually going to use Cloth, which pairs really nicely with Brute Bonnet as well. More for its attack, Unhinged Scissors. You can use the double turbo energy to power up this attack. It deals 30 plus damage. However, if this Pokemon is affected by a special condition, again, Brute Bonnet, this attack deals 190 damage instead. So you can take care of those lightning type builds who are weak to fighting and win that match. And you're only losing one prize if they knock out this Cloth. Additionally, I also have Flutter main in this build with the ability Midnight Fluttering. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities except for Midnight Fluttering. With this ability, you can actually slow down a lot of Pokemon that uses abilities in the active spot, especially against the Lost Zone engine builds. It also has the attack Hex Hurl for 3 colorless energy, it deals 90 damage, and you put 2 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. As for my Ace Pack card, which you can only have one in your deck, I am using Prime Catcher. You switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot, and if you do, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon so that you can get a knockout with Walking Wake EX. So that's pretty much the gist of this build. Walking Wake EX is actually really great with its unblockable attacks. However, if you are unable to put that special condition on your opponent's active Pokemon, the attack of this Pokemon is really weak. Especially if you go against other ancient Pokemon builds that uses the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Again, this tool card prevents any special conditions from taking effect on your Pokemon with this attached. So Walking Wake EX's attack will remain at 120 damage, which is very underwhelming. However, against other matchups, the unblockable aspect of this attack makes it really great. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Walking Wake EX. Alright, on to our first match. I will be going first here. Let me go ahead and put Cloth in the active spot and figure out what we're gonna do here. My opponent has Manaphy in their active, so we could be going against... Well, I don't know yet. Okay, I don't know yet. What I could do for now is use Luminion V. That way I can get Professor Sada's Vitality. And then I could discard these two. That way I can set up a basic energy with Professor Sada's Vitality next turn. And then what I could do is get Brute Bonnet. And then use Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Attach the Forest Seal Stone. And then I'm gonna use Star Alchemy to get... Squawkabilly could really help here, but... I might need that Lost Vacuum. So what I'm gonna do is just get Radiant Sneasler for now. Increase the poison damage. We can poison their Manaphy. And then that's gonna deal 3 poison damage every turn. So we're gonna end our turn for now. So it's kind of like us dealing an attack damage, 30 damage every turn. And then to my opponent's surprise, we could attack for a lot of damage when we get our Walking Wake EX Pokemon in play. But Cloth by itself is already a very strong single price attacker, right? We've seen a lot of showcase using Cloth, and it's a great way to counter any lightning type matchups, especially Walking Wake is weak to lightning. So we're going against fire type Entei V. So we can actually deal damage for weakness with our Walking Wake. Since Walking Wake EX is a basic Pokemon, it's easy to set up, especially with Professor Sada's Vitality. Then all we'll need is double turbo energy to fully energize its attack and deal a lot of damage. So for now, my opponent will attach an energy to Entei V, They're gonna use Forest Seal Stone to get any one card from their deck using up their V-Star marker. They're going to switch to remove the poison and play Magma Basin. Fleet-footed ability to draw one extra card and end their turn. Okay. Alright, so for now, I can attach an energy to... I need to draw into extra energies, right? So let me go ahead and just use Professor Sada's Vitality. And... this is very awkward. I'll put an energy on Cloth. So if they knock it out, we can just discard that energy, and maybe we'll draw into another Professor Sada's Vitality. I'll go ahead and just use Toxic Powder. Deal poison damage to their NTV, and then end my turn. So if they don't knock out my Cloth, we can deal a lot of damage to actually knock out their NTV. But I'm pretty sure they have an energy in their hand. So what we need to do is just figure out how we can... I mean, we have Professor's Research, which is great. Okay, my opponent will also use Professor's Research. But once we use Professor's Research, we can't use Professor Sada to accelerate energy. So that's the downside. We might be able to still catch up though, if we can just knock out their fire type Pokemon easy. But we gotta get that Walking Wake into play first. Alright, so my opponent's NTV gets a knockout. And let me go ahead and put Radiant Hisuian Sneasler into the active spot. We have Prime Catcher. Alright, that's... Actually, it's not helpful. That's not helpful right now. Let me just use Professor's Reach. I'll have to sacrifice them, man. I have to sacrifice them. I have Flutter Mane. Could be useful. Cloth. And then... let me get rid of these two. I'll get a Mew. And then let me switch out my Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. That way I can draw two more. Alright, cool. We got double turbo energy. Perfect. So now I can retreat my Mew EX into Claw. Can poison both active Pokemon. That puts the special condition on Claw, increasing its attack damage output to 170 damage. That will knock out their NTV. Alright, perfect. So that gets us 2 prizes. That turned out pretty well, actually. So now if they knock out my Claw, we can... we'll need another attacker, guys. We still need to set up our Walking Wake Pokemon. And I'm assuming this is going to evolve into Armarouge EX. That can deal a lot of damage. Alright, there's the Armarouge EX. For 2 colorless energy, 40 plus 40 more damage for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So they can attach 3 That's 160 damage, right? 160. What I need is Walking Wake and Professor Sada's Vitality. Because I need that water energy attached and then use the double turbo energy. And we should be able to take out this Armarouge EX. Right, 260 minus 80. But we're hitting for double the damage, so we should be able to do it. So 160, that takes out my Cloth. We're gonna pivot into Mew EX. Got Earthen Vessel, okay. Got Earthen Vessel. I have no choice. I'm gonna use Iono. Alright, we got Walking Wake. EX. We got Walking Wake. I'm gonna just not use up this Nest Ball. I'm just gonna thin out my hand here for a little bit. And then what I could do is put Walking Wake into play. Draw 2. Get rid of their Town Store. We can use our Town Store to get Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. That way we can put it onto our Walking Wake EX. Discard that so that we can get our last basic energy from our deck to attach to Walking Wake. We just need to draw into the double turbo energy. And what I could do is actually just retreat into Flutter Mane, which turns off their active Pokemon's ability. And then we're gonna use Toxic Powder. And that ends our turn. So with that, actually, the ability only takes effect if this Pokemon has full HP. It takes 80 less damage. So that Poison is actually gonna help us. So that this Armarouge EX will take full damage. Right. So I just need another double turbo energy. We should have 3 in the deck. And that should help us out to attack with Walking Wake. To use its Catharsis Roar. And deals 240 damage. That's 480, hitting for weakness, and it's unblockable. Even with this damage reduction, it's actually not going to help them survive an attack from Walking Wake. So they'll take a knockout against our Flutter Mane. So now what we're going to do is just pivot into Mew EX for now. Dude, that is awesome. Okay. That actually helps us out. Let me go ahead and use Mew EX first. That way we can draw extra cards with Professor Sada. Okay. Iono could be useful. Let me use Professor Sada first. And just attach another water energy. And we'll call it done. Done. Draw 3. And then I'll recover 2 Ionos. We didn't draw in 2. Oh man, we needed double turbo energy. I'm going to sacrifice my Radiant Hisuian Sneasler and end my turn. My opponent's Armarouge EX already has poison, so I don't need to double it up. But the thing is, if they have boss orders, we have a lot of
liabilities on our bench. Mew EX can get knocked out easily. Luminion V can also get knocked out easily by this Armarouge EX. But if we can get rid of those fire energies, we should be okay. Alright, let's go ahead and put Mew EX into the active spot. Now it's our turn. Iono is good. Alright. Iono is pretty good. But Professor Sada is also really good. Yeah, let's just go ahead and guarantee our attack here. There's the double turbo energy. Perilous Jungle will remove their stadium and increase the poison damage. And now we can... I'll just put Brood Bonnet again, just in case they target the one on the bench, because we'll need that special condition to remain active, right? I'll go ahead and retreat into my Walking Wake EX. And I will use Catharsis Roar. 480 damage. Hitting for weakness against this Armarouge EX. And that's gonna get us 2 prizes. Alright, we got another Perilous Jungle, which is really good. I don't think they're taking any knockouts here unless... I mean, they just need 1 energy. They need a boss orders, which I'm pretty sure they do. Do they have boss orders? Do they have boss's orders? Radiant Heatran. That's actually a really dangerous Radiant Pokemon. Professor's Research, bro! They don't have boss's orders. Magma Basin. We could just replace that, but the purpose would have been completed, right? Can this deal 280 damage? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yeah, as long as it has 6 damage counters on it, it can pretty much knock out anything. Alright, looks like they're retreating. Are they retreating? Yeah, they're just gonna attack for 200 damage. They needed a boss orders to win this game, but that's gonna be game. We will just use Brood Bonnet's Toxic Powder. We are immune to poison because of the Ancient Capsule. And we're just gonna deal 480 damage, hitting for weakness against SAG to win us the game. Alright. That was a rough battle, but we made it through. We made it through. Alright, good game. Alright, so in this matchup, my opponent is going first, and I actually prefer that. I prefer going second in any matchup. We have Walking Wake EX to go to the active spot. And we are going against Sandy Shock's EX. Okay. This could mean anything. This could be an ancient box of some sort. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Raikou V. Alright. Since they have a lightning type there, we could possibly use Cloth to deal with it. Hit for weakness and take it out easily. We're gonna put our Brood Bonnet into play. And what I'm gonna use is discard these 2 energies using Ultra Ball. That way we can use, if we have the chance of... Actually, we can use Luminion V. Luminion V. to get our Professor Sada's Vitality. That will guarantee us at least one water energy onto Walking Wake. And I'll put one on Brubonnet. We have energy switch in this deck, so we should be okay. We have Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, which is perfect. And I'll go ahead and just discard Iono so that I can use Palpad before I use Squawkabilly EX. To help us draw into more cards, I will use this Ultra Ball to get Cloth. Use Palpad to recover these two. And then use Squawkabilly EX to draw more cards. Insane. But we didn't get... Oh man. No. We didn't get the double turbo energy. Let's use Town Store to get Ancient Booster Energy Caps. No, we get Forest Seal Stone. But we also need the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. How to do this? I mean, their Sandy Shocks is not dealing enough damage anyways. So I'll just go ahead and use Forest Seal Stone for now. Attach it to my Luminian V. Use Star Alchemy to get my double turbo energy. Right? Double turbo energy. Attach it to this guy. And then we can deal 100 damage. 100 damage is pretty significant, right? So now they're down to 180 HP. And then all we need is Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Poison their active. Oh no, we can't poison their active. Can't poison their active. Raging Bolt has no weakness. 240. 300 HP. Oh my goodness. Well, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. Yeah, because Walking Wake depends on the special condition on your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's gonna be a big problem. I can preserve my boss order so that we can target this guy. I could take a knockout here, but not really since let me go ahead and use Town Store for now. Town Store to get Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. That way at least I can poison my Claw. Right? And then I can retreat my Walking Wake. If we can draw into double turbo energy, we can still deal a lot of damage to the Sandy Shocks to get a knockout. I think that's my only chance here, but ooh, we didn't get it. Did not get it. We put an energy on this Cloth. And then I'll just use Catharsis Roar for another 100 damage. Alright, we're gonna take it slow. Lightning Energy, okay. Ooh. Professor Sada's Vitality. You may discard any amount of basic energy from your Pokemon, and this attack does 70 for each. Okay, so as long as we can prevent them from stacking enough energies in play, we should be fine. But, yeah, the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule is not helping us. Because that means their Pokemon is also immune to special conditions. And then late game, Sandy Shock's Magnetic Absorption will just continue to recycle those fighting energies from the discard pile into play, and then they can keep attacking with Raging Bolt EX for a lot of damage. Bro, 200 right there. 200. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is just attack with Cloth. And then I can use this here. Use Switch Card to heal it a little bit. There it is, 30 more HP, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use Professor's Research and Boss's Orders. Perfect. Perfect. But what's the best way that we can deal with this? Well, I can take out this guy first, right? Let me go ahead and take out this Sandy Shocks first. That'll get us our first 2 prizes. We have Prime Catcher and Boss Orders. And we can take out at least 1 more Sandy Shocks EX with our Walking Wake. Yeah, we still have this game. As long as we target their weaker Pokemon, we should be fine. Especially if they have Raikou V in play. And since we have Cloth, we're only losing 1 prize if they knock it out. So we are actually... we have the advantage. They have Boss Orders though. You're gonna target my Walking Wake, which is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine with me. Because now we can use Cloth to knock out their Raikou V, get 2 more prizes. Then all we have to do is set up another Walking Wake. Because that's of course our showcase. And we can take out 1 of their Sandy Shocks EX without the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Alright. They're dealing 140 damage. Discarding 2 energies. 1 from each of their Sandy Shocks EX. We're gonna put our Cloth in the active spots. We have Walking Wake available to us. And let's see, what's the best way to do this? Actually, we can double Turbo Energy. Professor Sada's Vitality. We have 1 Water Energy. Draw 3. Perfect. Look at this. And then we can Prime Catcher this guy so that our Walking Wake can have a huge advantage. Ah, we don't have any more Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. What a mouthful. That's fine. So that means they are prized. I'll just use Perilous Jungle then. We are gonna get poisoned by a lot though. But that's fine. They'll have to discard a lot of their energies, and without any more Sandy Shocks in play, we should be able to maybe survive an attack. We'll see. And we have Boss Orders in our hand. We can use that to boss their Raikou V, use Cloth, knock it out. So 220 damage, exactly what we needed. Especially with that double Turbo Energy, reducing our attack. There's the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. We will receive 30 poison damage though. Hopefully they don't have Iono, because we'll need this Boss Orders to secure our win. Please no Iono. Alright, cool. Arven is what they chose to play. And this is very interesting because they don't really have any draw engine other than Professor's Research. So their deck is very dependent on trainer supporter cards to draw them. And maybe this Raikou V with the fleet-footed. But yeah, it's I can see how their deck can be easily disrupted, especially if they can't draw into any extra cards. So now my opponent is using Burst Roar. Wait, discard a hand. No. They're using the second attack, Bellowing Thunder, and that deals enough damage to knock out our Walking Wake. But you know what? That's it. That's gonna be game. Can we finish this though with Walking Wake? I guess that's the challenge. Can we do it? Can we do it? Yeah, we have a switch card. All right, perfect. All right, cool. We have Walking Wake EX. So I can finish this by knocking out the Raikou V with Cloth, right? But we're gonna do this with style. Attach for turn. Energy switch. This water energy. Switch cards are Walking Wake. Ancient Booster to protect ourselves from poison. Boss's orders. This Raikou V. Toxic Powder to poison their Raikou V, dealing 5 poison damage. And then Catharsis Roar deals 220 damage for the win. There it is against Raging Bolts. There's the 2 prizes. Wow. All right, good game. Good game. All right, on to our next match. We won the coin flip, but I like going second with this build. We have Cloth to go into the active spot, and looks like my opponent will have to mulligan. And we're going against Lost Zone mechanic type of build. They have Psychic and Fire Energy, so I'm not sure exactly what we're going up against here. Got 1 extra card from their mulligan, double triple energy. We're gonna start with a Comfey in their active spots. So we're turning this around because usually Lost Zone engine builds can attack on their first turn going second. So with the roles reversed, we can actually take a knockout here if we get all the cards that we need in our hand, which we definitely have the potential to do. And they have Artisan. We can use that to get... What can we get with Artisan? Another Cloth. Brood Bonnet. We can use that to get Brood Bonnet. And we got Perilous Jungle. Okay. Let's go ahead and use their Artisan. That way we can get Brood Bonnet. Flutter Mane is actually really great. To stop them from using their single prize Pokemon. Let me actually get Flutter Mane just to slow them down a little bit. We have a switch card also. And then we can use Nest Ball to get Brood Bonnet. Yeah, let's go ahead and set up our poison Pokemon in play. Can deal 90 damage. We can definitely deal 70 damage to their Comfey. I'll go ahead and use that on this Flutter Mane. Switch cards onto Flutter Mane. But the thing is, if they have Colorless Experiment, they can get 2 more into their discard pile or their Lost Zone. They can attack my Flutter Mane and then it will get knocked out. Let me get rid of their Artisan, and then I can use Ultra Ball. Since it's our first turn going second, we can still use our supporter card. What I could do is use Luminion V and get a knockout here. Since we already discarded an energy, we can use Professor Sada's Vitality Then we can accelerate this water energy. Draw 3 cards. Perfect. Look at this. Look at this. Now we can poison them even. And attack with Cloth the next turn. And then we can use Hex Hurl to knock out their Comfey. And at the same time, they can't use their Comfey's flower selecting ability because we are turning off their ability thanks to Midnight Fluttering. Alright, very nice. So we have a counter against Lost Box Engine. Flutter Mane is actually really great. One of in the deck, but still very great. So with that, they only have 2 cards in their Lost Zone. They've already used up... Oh, they got heads. Okay, that's gonna remove our Flutter Mane. And they're gonna put Brute Bonnet in the active spot. That's very dangerous. We'll have to get another switching card to get Brute Bonnet out. But as it is, it's very, very dangerous. Flutter Mane can actually take care of their Cramorant because it is dependent on its ability to attack for 0 energy. But with Flutter Mane's ability to turn off their ability, they shouldn't be able to do anything to attack. So they're gonna deal 110 damage to our Brute Bonnets. We need to get it out of the active spot. What are our options here? Let me put... I don't want to use double turbo energy right now. I mean, I could. I'll just put double turbo energy. We still have 2 left. And then what I could do is just be aggressive, I guess. And use Professor's Research to draw 7 cards. Alright, cool. We got a switch card. That's awesome. That is actually pretty awesome. We're gonna put Walking Wake into play. And we're gonna use switch cards to heal our Brute Bonnet by 30. And then we're gonna continue with our Hex Hurl. 70 damage, then 2 damage counters to any of their Pokemon. I could slowly just take care of this Comfey, I guess. So 2 more attacks from Flutter Mane, we can take 1 more Pokemon out. And like I said, while Flutter Mane is in the active spot, Cramorant cannot attack because we're turning off its Lost Provision. But they will do Boss's Orders, targeting our Brute Bonnet once again. To get a knockout. That's fine. They're only taking 1 prize at a time, but Flutter Mane is going to continue to beat them up. Professor Sada, okay. Let me actually use Ultra Ball to get rid of these 2. And oh, I don't have any more Brute Bonnets. What's this? Wait a minute. 1 is prized. That's actually gonna make a big difference. I'll go ahead and get Mew EX then. And at least we'll take a knockout here. We'll take a knockout against this Cramorant. And then slowly against that Comfey. And we should be fine. Right? Put an energy to Walking Wake. Slowly but surely we can attack with it. And for now we're just going to use Hex Hurl. 70 damage to Cramorant. And 2 damage counters to their Comfey. So 1 more damage counters. Should knock out that Comfey. There's Radiant Sneasler. What we need is our Brute Bonnet though. Horus Experiments. That's gonna get them 6 cards in the Lost Zone. Yeah, this Flutter main is pretty obnoxious against the Lost Box engine because they're using up their resources to get it out of the active so that they can use their abilities. So there you have it, guys. A very good example of how disruptive Flutter main can be against certain matchups. Okay, well, my opponent uses switch card to heal their Comfey. That's very unfortunate because now we'll have to deal a lot more damage. One way out of this is actually canceling Cologne. What are they doing? They're removing my stadium. But that's fine, we can't poison them anyways because we don't have any brood bonnets. I could just take out this Cramorant though. We're dealing 100 damage. Not quite. It's not good enough, you know. Maybe put an extra HP to Flutter main in that case. It's gonna be a lot harder for my opponent to knock it out then. 70 damage to their Cramorant, and yeah, we're gonna continue back where we left off with this Comfey. Unless they heal it back up, we're gonna knock it out to get an extra prize. So 2 prizes next turn if they can't heal any of these 2 Pokemon that they have, but we are definitely giving them a hard time with this matchup. So as of right now, my opponent has 9 cards in their Lost Zone. They could use Sableye to spread damage, but it's not gonna make an impact against us because we have a lot of HP. They're gonna heal their Cramorant, but their Comfey will see its demise. And I'll keep that basic energy at bay. 70 damage to their active Cramorant. And then we're gonna finish off this Cramorant on their Comfey on their bench to get 1 prize. Alright, we need that Brood Bonnet. So I've had a lot of those games, you know, when you need something and lo and behold, it is the last card in your prizes. But now with Color's Experiment, that should be the last card they need to get that 10 cards in the Lost Zone mark. Now they can use Sableye and whatever else they have in this deck. They haven't used any Mirage Gates yet, so with so much energy available to them and resources, they can still deal a lot of damage. Right? So Radiant Charizard not gonna be useful against Flutter main because again, it is turning off its ability and they'll still need a lot of energy to power it up. But yeah, what a great way to turn off the Lost Zone engine. That's that's pretty crazy. Okay, well, we're just gonna take a knockout here. Hex Hurl, 70 damage, and then we're gonna continue to deal damage to their benched Cramorant. Switch cards. Okay. So slowly but surely, we are if they have 2 water energies, they can attack with Cramorant. But thankfully, we have Ancient Booster Energy Capsule to increase our HP. You're not gonna be able to knock us out with a single hit with Cramorant. But even with those energy, that's not the energy you need to attack, bro. That's not the energy you need to attack. I thought they had water energy. I thought they did. They have fire, they have psychic. No water. So they wasted that Mirage Gate for sure. Alright, well, there's the concession. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.